NDP MP Blake Desjardins says it's time the Trudeau government stepped up to the plate and addressed the affordable housing crisis facing Indigenous people in major cities.
Indigenous people make up the largest proportion of houseless community members right now, and winter's coming. And that means there'll be direct proportionate amount of deaths because the government's failing to act. We used to build houses in this country. We're not building houses like we used to. And so it's an emergency facing our country's economy, but it's also an emergency facing the everyday lives of people. And so we're going to need to build housing, non-market housing.
Native Women's Association of Canada President Carol McBride agrees Indigenous women are finding themselves unable to afford a roof over their head and need help.
Our First Nations across this country are really suffering in terms of, like, we can't get loans for our housing or mortgages, or we have to sign it's such a disturbing process for our people.
For more than a year, missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls advocates have been pushing for a search of the Prairie Green landfill just outside of Winnipeg, where it is believed the remains of at least 2 First Nations women are located. McBride says it is unconscionable that the Manitoba Progressive Conservatives have not shown any interest in searching the landfill.
I can't understand how the provincial government, especially led by a woman, to take that kind of position, not to find our loved ones or our sisters when they can.
But Desjardins says the Trudeau government is not exactly blameless on the issue either.
If it's a problem of resource, they should pay up and make it happen. It's not rocket science to search these landfills. Landfills have been searched before. And yeah, the option of the government is to point fingers and say it's your problem or my problem. But anytime that the pointing fingers games is played, it's always Indigenous people and regular folks who suffer from that.
APTN News reached out to Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Gary Anasandagri, Conservative critic Gary Vidal, Assembly of First Nations Interim National Chief Joanna Bernard, and the Métis National Council for comment, but all were unavailable. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.